In the early 19th century, the town of Adams, Tennessee, was the birthplace of the terrifying ghost story known as the Bell Witch. It is widely regarded as one of the most well-known and horrifying ghost stories in the history of popular culture in the United States. The Bell family is the focus of the narrative. They were tortured by an unseen and awful thing that resided within their home. The story concentrates around the Bell family. The imaginations of the folks were very amazing, beginning with strange noises and progressing into physical assaults and eerie manifestations. This haunting became a cornerstone of supernatural folklore and became a source of interest for the general public. It began with strange noises and escalated into physical attacks and uncanny manifestations. It is said that the spirit, which is generally known as the Bell Witch, primarily plagued John Bell, the patriarch of the family, as well as his daughter, Betsy. Betsy was also a victim of the spirit's terrifying presence. As a consequence of this, the Bell Witch has left behind a legacy of horror, mystery, and intrigue that continues to captivate historians and scholars who are interested in the unexplained and the supernatural. Number 4. The legend, a nasty and unseen entity that came to be known as the Bell Witch, is claimed to have afflicted the Bell family. This creature is said to have been a Bell Witch. The oral tradition of this legend was handed down from one generation to the next. There were scary sounds that seemed to come from nowhere, such as hammering on the walls, scratching noises, and the creepy sound of chains dragging across the floor. These sounds were the beginning of the haunting. It appeared as though these sounds had emerged from nowhere. In a relatively short amount of time, these unsettling sounds evolved into occurrences that were even more terrifying. The members of the family have said that they have been subjected to physical assaults by the unknown entity. These assaults have included being slapped, pinches, and even thrown across the room. The spirit's more hostile behavior toward Betsy Bell, John Bell's youngest daughter, and John Bell himself became more intense as the disturbances became more intense. Betsy Bell was the object of the spirit's activity. The monster seemed to gain a tremendous lot of satisfaction from torturing them, and it regularly did so by mocking them with derogatory remarks and actions. Some stories claim that the spirit was able to sing hymns, talk in a variety of voices, and even carry on extended conversations with people. Other stories claim that the spirit was able to sing hymns. This exhibition of intelligence and hatred was a source of confusion for the family as well as those who witnessed the occurrences, which contributed to the horrifying aspect of the encounter. In spite of the fact that the Bell Witch appeared to be focusing her attention on John and Betsy, the entire family was left in a position of continual dread, unable to explain or escape the happenings that appeared to be supernatural. Due to the horrifying nature of these attacks and the spirit's ability to connect with the family, the Bell Witch is believed to be one of the most unnerving and enduring hauntings in American mythology. This is because of the Bell Witch's capacity to connect with the family. Number 3. The Witch's Origins. Kate Batts, a neighbor of the Bell family who was widely considered as quirky and unusual, is frequently mentioned in local mythology as being the person who is said to have been responsible for the Bell Witch haunting. There is a rumor that Kate and John Bell had a disagreement regarding a land transaction, and many people believe that the disagreement escalated into a nasty one. In her rage, Kate is claimed to have laid a curse on John Bell and his family, which ultimately resulted in the manifestation of the vengeful spirit. Because of this association, the entity was given the nickname Kate, which developed into a name that was commonly associated with the Bell Witch. On the other hand, historical records and research have uncovered very little information that can be considered reliable to support this connection. It is said that Kate Batts herself was a figure that was misunderstood, and it appears that her link with witchcraft or supernatural talents is more a result of rumors and superstition than it is of actuality. It is possible that the human inclination to assign blame and find tangible explanations for events that cannot be explained has contributed to the persistence of the narrative that Kate Batts is the source of the haunting, despite the fact that there is no proof to support this claim. Despite the fact that the exact roots of the Bell Witch phenomenon are still unknown, historians and people who are interested in the paranormal continue to speculate about whether the haunting was caused by personal grudges, psychological projections. Number 2. Notable events. The Bell family's haunting received a large amount of attention, which led to a significant number of inquiries and investigations being carried out over the course of time. This trend continued to the present day. One of the most well-known individuals who paid a visit to the Bell residence was Andrew Jackson, who would go on to become the President of the United States of America at some point in the future. To add insult to injury, he was also one of the more notable individuals who went to the Bell residence. The statements assert that Jackson had a desire to personally experience the weird occurrences that were taking place at the time. According to the allegations, Jackson and his entourage were treated to a series of horrifying experiences throughout their visit, which resulted in their rapidly departing the home out of terrifying anxiety. This was the culmination of the terrifying fear that they experienced. It is believed that this occurrence took place throughout the course of the visit. Some of the stories that have been told depict the situation as being similar to this. It is reported that the malevolent spirit asserted that he was the one who was responsible for the death of John Bell in the year 1820, saying that he had been poisoned. This assertion is supposed to have been made by the wicked spirit. The tale in question is one that has been handed down from one generation to the next. The occurrence of this particular encounter was a terrible incident that served as an indication that the haunting had reached its most intense degree. There is a legacy of mystery and fear that is tied to the folklore that surrounds the Bell Witch, despite the fact that the creature did not totally disappear after his death. This heritage is connected to the Bell Witch. All the way up till the present day, this legacy is being handed down. Number 1. Legacy. The folklore surrounding the Bell Witch has captivated people for a substantial amount of time, which has led to the production of a large number of books, documentaries, and ghost tours that study the horrifying narrative that is associated with it. The town of Adams, Tennessee, which serves as the setting for the novel, has evolved into a haven for individuals who are interested in the supernatural and wish to acquire additional information regarding the horrific past of the area. A natural feature that is supposed to be intimately connected to the supernatural activity is the Bell Witch Cave, which is situated in close proximity to the farm that the Bell family owns. This cave is said to be at the center of supernatural activity. Folklore revolves around this cave as its focal point. Due to the fact that this cave is a well-known tourist location, it draws in many who are interested in personally experiencing the presence of the otherworldly. The Bell Witch mythos continues to be a horrific and perpetual description of spirit encounters, despite the allegations of some who assert that the history of the Bell Witch is based on folklore, hoaxes, or psychiatric disorders. The fact that it combines historical mystery with spooky dread has helped it to solidify its position as a cornerstone of the history of ghosts in the United States. There has been a lot of curiosity and discussion on the events that actually took place in the home that belonged to the Bell family. Conclusion: although it has been passed down from generation to generation, the story of the Bell Witch remains one of the most enduring and mysterious ghost stories associated with the history of the United States. In spite of the passage of time and the skepticism that has surrounding the incidents, the frightening encounters that the Bell family has experienced continue to fascinate the imagination of individuals who are interested by the occult. Regardless of whether it was attributed to a spirit of vengeance, psychological stress, or simply legend, the haunting made an indelible mark on the history of Tennessee. It left an impression that will never be forgotten. Additionally, the region surrounding Adams, Tennessee, continues to act as a focal point for persons who are interested in learning the truth behind the story of the Bell Witch. The Bell Witch has been the topic of a vast number of narratives, films, and investigations. Because the story has a mixture of fears, mysteries, and questions that have not been addressed, it is certain that the Bell Witch will continue to be a subject of fascination for many generations to come. This is because the story contains a combination of these elements. Would you like it? Hit the like button and subscribe to our channels for more interesting and informative videos.